Well, this is the guy they're missing the most, Josh Gosser. Started as a freshman for the Badgers, was entering his junior season this season, an ACL injury that has cost him a year. And as much talent as he had on the floor, Bo Ryan, the first thing he brings up is the leadership. And I know it's been difficult for you to sit back and watch, especially after a 4-3 start. But how are you doing, man? How'd your surgery go? How's your rehab coming?
It's going good. You know, I don't know much about this injury, obviously, so they said the surgery went great. So I'm just in the rehab situation now, and, you know, it's coming along slowly, but trainers say I'm doing great, so that's the way it's going.
Tell me your role now as you sit and watch these games, and you're obviously visible in practice. Tell me your role. What kind of things are you doing to help this team?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, as a point guard this year, my leadership role is going to grow, and I'm just trying to keep that role. You know, we need guys to step up and talk a little bit, so, you know, I'm trying to be another voice out there even though I'm not on the court. So, you know, we got some young guards with George Marshall and Davon Jackson really stepping up, and they're just trying to help them out along a little bit.
It was just a moment ago, Josh, that we had, I should say, Wisconsin had 3 freshmen in the game. Now, as a freshman, you had a triple-double, and Brian over here was actually calling the game. So you tell these guys, hey, it's easy. Just go out there and do what I did.
I wish it was that easy, but, you know, they're doing a great job. You know, having 3 freshmen out there and to not skip a beat like that just shows how, you know, hard working they are, how smart they've kind of learned things, you know, throughout the season so far.
Playing for Bo Ryan as a freshman, would you say there's more emphasis on defense to earn your minutes or offense?
Definitely defense. You know, you got to be tough. You got to, you know, put yourself out there in the defensive end. If you're not going to play defense, you're not going to get on the court. So, and, you know, that's why these guys are playing, because they show hard on the defensive end, and it's showing.
And now, as a player, a lot of talk after the Virginia game about toughness. Your team wasn't tough enough, that type of thing. Coaching staff saying the same thing, players saying it. I know what it's like to be out there. Obviously, it's tough to hear people say you're not tough enough. Do you agree with that? How do you work on toughness, that sort of thing?
You know, a lot of it comes natural, but at the same time, you know, our practices are pretty physical. You know, you got to be tough in practice, and that's how it shows in the game. So, you know, definitely it showed in the Virginia game. That's why we didn't win the game. You know, we weren't tough enough. We didn't put ourselves out there in the defensive end enough. And I think tonight is a little different story so far. Hopefully, we keep it up.
This is going to be a block on Showalter. By the way, the Badgers on a 14-0 run right now, and now lead at 19-6. This is a very good Cal basketball team. Josh, you would know better than anybody, but getting a starting nod for Bo Ryan as a freshman is a big deal. It rarely happens. Matter of fact, it only happened 4 times in the Bo Ryan era. You were one of those. And now we're seeing a moment ago 3 freshmen on the floor at the same time. Decker looks like he's ready to break out. George Marshall on the floor, and today we're seeing Showalter. What do you tell freshmen who come in here and try to make an impact, and how to find their way in this system?
You know, you just got to learn. You know, you got to learn fast. You got to learn on the go. Coaches are going to tell you things. They're going to on you a little bit, but you know, you just got to take what they tell you, learn from it, and you know, Sam's a great player. He's playing really well right now. He's obviously all these guys need to get better on the defensive end a little bit, but they're on the court for a reason. They're great players.
So at this point in your rehab, how much are you able to be around the team during practices and help on talk to you? It's still pretty early, right?
Yeah,
I imagine you've got a lot of rehab you're still doing.
It's really early. I mean, 3 weeks ago was surgery, so I'm definitely not around as much as I'd like. But, you know, once the school semester's over, I'm going to definitely be around a little bit more. You know, I come from class, got 2.5 hours of rehab. I'm not around practice as much as I like, so hopefully it'll come soon enough.
Josh Gosser joining us here at the table as we watch the Badgers on this big run, a 10-point lead over Cal. And there's a turnover. Throwing it right at you, man. He was looking for his point guard.
I was thinking, exactly.
I'm on the court here.
You heard him kind of go, right as it happened. As the point guard, you see that out there. And it's got to be tough. I mean, on the sideline as you watch these guys play, and these are your brothers. You've been working with them the entire offseason. What's the hardest part as you watch these games?
Man, there's so much hard stuff, but I'd say, you know, just these seniors, you know, they haven't won a Big Ten championship. They haven't accomplished some of their goals, and I just want to be out there to help them achieve that. You know, I'm obviously going through the injury, but I still got 2 more years left to play, and this is their last chance, so I just want to be out there to help them achieve their goal. And it sucks not to be out there with them.
Ryan Evans, the up and under, misses. Well, the Badgers, of course, 8 turnovers. Cobbs goes to the floor. Yeah, that does bear repeating. Josh, you'll take a red shirt, a medical red shirt, and as Crab connects. So you'll take a red shirt. You'll have 2 more years of eligibility. Are you confident you'll be able to come back after what was a pretty brutal injury to your ACL?
Yeah, I'm confident. You know, I've talked to a lot of people who've been through it, and they just told me to work as hard as I can to get back, and I'll be stronger than ever. So, you know, it's going to be slow. It's going to be, you know, tough mentally, definitely, but, you know, I'm just going to come back and contribute any way I can.
On the play that had happened, my understanding it was a very ordinary type play.
Yeah, and that's what kind of sucks about it. It was just a regular basketball play. You know, it was no one's fault. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't doing anything too crazy. It was just a, you know, kind of a fast break layup, and it just kind of happened, and that's the way a lot of these injuries go, so you just got to deal with it somehow.
Could have just as easily gone out on you walking the stairs. There's a turnover. Wallace can't finish, goes to the floor, and a blocking call. Wow. Josh Gosser, do you have anything to add to this particular foul call?
It was a little late, wasn't it?
You don't want to get fined by the league office here. Easy.
Should have seen his reaction over here. He was ready to jump out of the headset.
He grabbed his chair for a second. I wasn't sure what he was going to do with that chair.
Very similar reaction by his coach, Bo Ryan.
Now, you certainly would have been matched up. I don't know if it's Cobbs or Crabbe you would have had to defend.
Probably Cobbs. I'd say Cobbs.
I suppose he's there.
Trey's doing a great job on him so far. He's a great defender. So
you play a guy like that who, in Cobbs, who wants to get to the basket, very good with the basketball. Do you start off the game and try and give him a step and make him beat you from the outside before you give him the drive?
Yeah, you know, guys like that, they want to get to the line. They want to get an easy bucket to get them going. So you just got to try to make the tough ones go. And that's what Trey's doing right now. He took some, you know, tough contested jumpers, shut the game, and they didn't fall for him. So, you know, a guy like him, you don't want to turn the ball over offensively, give him an easy layup or anything like that. So, you know, we're doing a good job so far.
6 unanswered points by the Bears. Now a 7-point game. Here's Bruss, has it swatted away. That's a couple of turnovers in a row for the Badgers. Wallace goes to the line. No, I beg your pardon. Offensive foul. Wallace pushed off.
Wisconsin out of sorts a little bit right now. Trying to make a play is Ben Bruss. Wallace has got such long arms. He's a lefty. Very talented freshman. There's the push-off on Jackson. I guess, Josh, would you say it's even now?
I'd say it's even right there. I don't need to say much about that.
Marshall. No. And Marshall back at the point guard position. Jackson on the bench. Bruss, he's hit a couple of shots early and connects once again. He missed his first 2. He's made his last 3, however. And a guy that Wisconsin will lean heavily on this year. He is a major scoring threat. I remember a couple of games that we had on Big Ten Network, making 7 3-pointers apiece as Brusewitz blocks that one. 21-12 Wisconsin, looking to add to their lead. And the double team comes in the corner. Bruss cuts and it's knocked away, but right there is Berggren. Berggren strong. 4 points for Jared Berggren. Well, Josh, this is one of those situations where you guys are 4-3. Got a lot of basketball to be played, though, and it seems like everybody feels like things are going to get much better as the experience starts to evolve here. Bruss lets a 3 fire and gets his own. Can he save his own? Are you seeing the kind of progression that everybody's talking about with this team?
Yeah, you know, I'm around every practice, and I see how, you know, how these young guys are playing, and there we go. And, you know, they're learning quick in practice, and it's showing in games. It's going to come, too. So they're great players, and it's going to continue.
From one Wisconsin boy to another. Josh Gosser, thanks for joining us. Best of luck in your rehab.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
That's Josh Gosser. They're missing him, but the Badgers putting something together here so far.